So what you guys usually discuss in this room? Like, I've been through many rooms I found. One was Ask a Christian, another was the vegan one. What is this room about?
Well,
Like, what do you?
we've all been shown the model of the Earth as a sphere, right? But is it true, right? How do you know if it's true? Do you look on the TV or do you go outside and check?
Oh, wait. Oh, so you literally meant for the title that the Earth is flat. TV is one thing, but we'll go with the scientific knowledge, na? How the Earth's been rotating at all, and each segment of sunlight is striking Earth. Had the Earth been flat, then the distribution of sunlight reaching the Earth would be quite different. And there was also this traveler. The name is not reaching. He also proved that is a round shape by traveling. I have to Google it again. Let's see if I can find his name.
Well, the thing is that you got to go check for yourself, right? You can't just trust what you see on TV. So you said that there's, science involved or whatever, but the shape of something is a geometrical question. So you're kind of off topic a little bit. It's called a category error, right?
uh, okay, but geography itself, how can we say that geography says that Earth is flat? I mean, if you look at the actual structure that the map gives, right? The map, it's like a flat piece of paper, and the shape of a particular landscape is distributed in a sense that it's spread. In actual sense, if we go and look, or we calculate the true map, which I think is hard to find, the landscape of a particular country will look a bit smaller in size. Overall, that's how we're distributed in the sphere.
So maps aren't
And
perfect.
it's not
Go ahead.
okay. Let me check with the maps. Sorry, yeah, I was doing a Google search with that. I got Gemini. It says not all flat maps distort the Earth shape because it's mathematically impossible to perfectly flatten a sphere without tearing or stretching it. Every map projection comprises accuracy of shape per area distance, meaning choices are made about what gets distorted. So if we assume that Earth is flat and everything spread on a metal length scale is as per the flat Earth, then we have a problem. Overall, the map is flat, and if we presume Earth being flat as well, how is the sunlight affecting the particular region? Eventually, if you look from above the length scale, we can also see that throughout the sphere, the length scale, how it's distributed, it will form a different shape when we look from the above. That's why but wait, geometry itself said that Earth is in an eagle shape. So how
So
can you say with the help of geometry that Earth is flat?
you can go outside and measure it yourself directly. Do you live near a large body of water at rest?
Yeah, okay, like whatever, like guys, go on. But the room was quiet for so long, and as soon as I came, I was asked about if the landing on moon was bogus or not. So I don't know. I mean, you only usually
That's where
discuss
you
why
get
Earth is flat here.
that's where you get the images of the Earth as a globe. From the moon landing, allegedly they went halfway there, turned around and looked, right? Allegedly. So I'm asking, how do you
Oh,
know if it's true?
there are more images taken by the NASA satellites depicting Earth is flat. So I mean, that's not the only image there is there. The many more, and the many more that has been came.
What's up with your mic, dude? So I asked you in the beginning, how do you tell the truth? Is it what you see on TV, or is it what you see when you go outside? Or is it what you see when you ask the AI?
Well, I always do all three combined, like I do with AI as well as the TV and all. But if we suppose Earth is flat, right, then the way sunlight reaches its region would be quite different than what we are getting now.
Yeah,
So
of
we
course.
take
We're
that
not
as
claiming the sun is 93 million miles away and like hundreds of times the size of the Earth, right? No, it's not what we're claiming, right? It's very different from our point of view because we can't measure 93 million miles away. That's a calculation based on the assumption that Venus is the same size as the Earth. So, do you know about fruit of the poisonous tree doctrine? Do you know what that is?
fruit of the poisonous tree.
Right. So, in America, we have a constitution. So, if the cops illegally search our car and they find something, that thing that the court has ruled it was an illegal search, anything they find can be um, sort of like dismissed, like it's not in the court record anymore. Right? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Even if what the cops find was illegal, it's fruit of the poisonous tree, and you don't eat fruit from a poisonous tree, right?
Okay.
So it's the same concept. If you base the distance to the sun on an assumption of how large Venus is, then it's fruit of the poisonous tree. It's based on an assumption.
Oh, right. I know. I know what you're trying to say. You're saying is the distance, the measurement we all got, they are not pinpoint accuracies and assumption we made by doing our own hypothesis.
Right.
Well, yeah. Um, I don't know what to say on that.
It's okay.
I, yeah, I
You're not
know. This is
expected to
something
know
like,
everything.
I know. This is like, what do you call this? More like something new to me.
But
Overall, I
it's not
did learn a
it's
bit
not
of.
just that, you know.
Hmm.
I'm sorry for interrupting. There's many, many other things, right? Like if you search in your AI crisis in cosmology, like they'll tell you all about it. It's many, many different things. But the main point is that you can go outside and see too far for the size of the earth that they've given us. You can go check it for yourself.
Okay. But what about those theories that come in play? Like, if we let's say forget the distance of the sun, right? Had the Earth been flat, the sunrays reaching the Earth, it would cover about 80% of the Earth because the more it is near to the sun, right? Because its shape is flat. So it's like showing your mobile phone screen to the lamp. Some that way, the light would be distributed. But if you show a football, then the front surface, 50% I would say, that will be affected by the light, while the area behind will be shady dark. And this is how it goes. Continent to continent time varies. Had it been flat, then 3 to 4 continents would have the same time and the same light sequence of the sun. So, like, doesn't that concept itself prove that Earth is flat? I know we have to see for ourselves, but sometimes we need that scope. And some of my friends, online friends I've chatted with, they also tell me about this stuff, that how Earth rotates and how it shapes on. So those my NASA astronaut friends, they also like they say it's flat. It's not flat, sorry, it's sphere, eagle shape.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But the thing is do you go by what people say or do you go check outside for yourself?
Well, I can go check outside by myself, but I mean I would, but it's not possible now. I'm an account student and being an astronaut, not my stuff.
No, you don't have to be an
Yeah.
astronaut. You have to go take a vacation at the ocean or a large body of water at rest like a lake and see how far you can see, right?
Okay. Okay. Let's keep it like this. All the planets that is in our solar system, it's almost of a sphere shape, right? And we take Moon, which is our satellite. that is also of a spear shape. We have seen how lunar eclipse works. Now, if we assume that Earth is basically flat, then the moon will only rotate in those particular areas of the Earth on top of which like it is first let's say it's adjacent, like let's take the edges of the circle, right? Now if the moon is somewhere near the edge, either rotate around the edge or it will go straight across the flat
Yeah,
circle.
the Earth is not a
So
planet, dude.
I know moon's not the planet, it's the Earth's satellite, but that's what I'm trying to say. An object has its own gravitational pull, and a spear shape ensures the gravitational pull directs all objects towards itself. If it's flat, like a page, so the gravitational pull will be less at the edge and more towards up and down face of the page. Whereas a spear equally distributes it, and we get a good level of gravity. So concepts like those, they sound logical, and they're proven on a smaller scale of our science experiment we did in basic science. They all add into the fact if you look at a larger scale. Like another example I'm giving, let's take a balloon, right? We pop the balloon and we equally spread the balloon. We have one flat fabric of balloon, and we put in the middle a marble, and then we put a small area, a smaller marble, and then we rotate it. So that spear shape will make a hole, not hole, but like it will put weight in the middle of that fabric, and the smaller marble, it will rotate its way and go down unless you directly drop it. So
Well,
that
they
is a
bump into each other,
significance of.
right?
Okay, I think I'm failing to explain that.
No, I
But let's just
understand
say
what you're
that,
saying, right? The
yeah,
marble will fall into the bowling ball, right?
yeah,
And they'll crash,
yeah.
right? So space time is not made of any matter from the periodic table. In other words, no baryonic matter. So this matter that the trampoline or the sheet is made out of is not the same. We call it a false equivalency.
Okay.
So it's a
So
bad example because it doesn't represent reality. So I've asked you like 5 times, do you look at what your friends say or what other people say, or do you use primary knowledge in science? In other words, the peer review process.
I don't actually rely on what my friends say. I try to reason it, but I think the way I'm going, it may go towards how my friends say. Yeah, the second perspective, because I learn all these formulas from them and on from a teacher, and then applied and learn. So I think while now I'm chatting with you, it could be that I'm more inclined towards what my friends say rather than the other option you said.
So you wouldn't go with the first-hand primary knowledge?
I would apply that. I would apply that. But overall, I mean, why would the Earth be flat? Because what we all learn, it inclines everything with good and great possibility. We need to go up and see. That's one thing. But if
Let's
we
find
have,
out. Let's find out, my friend. Are you a critical thinker? What is it about the heliocentric model, also known as the acentric model? Or they're kind of different, but I'm talking about the standard model that you think is incorrect. What do you think that they're wrong about, that you're skeptical about, or you're critically thinking about? Or do you just believe it all, like no matter what?
um, well, look, I'm not that much of a science student because I studied more into accounts and philosophy. But I usually utilize these key basic terms I learned in school: the distribution of sun's light on the globe, and why this thing proves the Earth is equal to spear shape, right? And another thing is the how a perfect spear has its unique gravitational pull rather than a flat object. So those two for me indicate why Earth is not flat.
But to be perfectly clear, nobody's claiming that Earth is a disk in space. It's not some kind of pizza planet space frisbee. You're standing on the floor of all that is.
No, I know, but the thing is that A flat object will have a different form of gravitational pull with either the most cross
Gravity doesn't have a
edges.
pull. The bending and warping of the four-dimensional manifold is not defined as pulling force.
Okay, I am mistaken over there. But like they have this some sort of pull, like
No.
No.
Not to mention the fact that the four-dimensional manifold and gravity as you know it, Einstein's thing, is nothing more than a mathematical construct. It can never be found in reality. It's pure math.
Wait, so the idea of one object pulling another object is just mathematical concept they're trying to say, or I'm mistaken here?
I'm telling you that the space-time, the very concept of space-time involves height, width, depth, and time, and it is a purely mathematical construct.
Right, like as a Texan, I have an idea about liberty, right? It's not a physical thing. You can't bend it and warp it. It's just an idea.
Well, if that's okay, well, in that regards, I don't have much on me. This is how I just, what do you call that? Consider Earth being round, and then there's this traveler who proved it once. So those are with me. I might be, what do you say? My approach might be wrong, but I'm 100% sure Earth is not flat anyway.
How do you know that? Because somebody told you? Because you said earlier that that's what you go off of, what people tell you rather than empirical knowledge gained by firsthand observation or experimentation.
Somebody did told me, so that's how I know. Not the imperial knowledge approach. But I still
Well,
find it hard to believe.
by that concept, then you know, would just believe anything based on your confirmation bias. Like, how do you know what's real, right?
That's true.
And you want to be aware of
well-
your cognitive biases, right? And not let them rule you.
But anything, I would say, okay, fine. I mean, supernova doesn't exist. Milky Way is not the complete galaxy. But Earth being flat, that's something new that just struck me. How do you guys come to that conclusion? Okay, how do you guys got
You
that idea?
observe the horizon to be horizontal. The Earth presents itself as being flat and level, and it's measurably flat and level. Then we're told a story that there's curvature that's never measured, never seen. And the burden of proof is on the one making the claim. So where's the curve at? The cool thing is it's not your claim, so you don't have to prove it.
Yeah, and I don't have enough knowledge in to do like proving a mathematical method. I'm just an accountant, so. So overall, like, this is the only thing you discuss, or usually this room is kind of quiet? Because I'm just going through, glancing and learning.
That's the subject matter here at the ground, man. And we try and stick with the subject matter. There's so many other things that people could talk about, and it ends up leading down a bunch of rabbit holes that are non sequitur to the ground. So we try and keep it on the ground.
Yeah, don't you want to stay grounded in reality than getting lost after mathematical concepts? Because you can describe things with math, it's a language. But when it comes to science, you can like verify things through experimentation, right? Because it's a process of elimination. Do you understand that process of elimination? How important that is?
Yeah.
Do you need me to explain it to you?
I think if you explain it
Hello?
much further, then I'll get it. Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, so it's like this. You have a car that won't start, right? One mechanic looks at it and says, "Hey, I think it's the starter. That'll be $500." And the other mechanic goes through and does research, right? Then he comes up with a hypothesis. After his research, it's the starter fuse. So he only changes the starter fuse, which is like $20. But the guy who charged you $500 didn't even do anything, right? That's the difference. Like, you can eliminate it because once you change the starter fuse, then you don't need to do anything else because now the vehicle starts, so you know what the problem was.
Okay. So right now, what's happening is you're trying to figure out why Earth is flat, or you're debating with one who says Earth is flat and other says Earth is round. Which of the two is happening over here? You're
Well,
trying to
sometimes
figure out
people
now.
come in and debate. You know what I mean? Sometimes they do.
People try to debate. It's not really up for debate, though. I mean, it's up for discussion, but the Earth presents itself as being flat. Until somebody can prove a claim of curvature, it's by definition and by default flat.
Okay. Well,
You
I
see
think
lights in the sky move over your head. That doesn't mean that the ground beneath your feet is moving around those lights in the sky.
hmm, that's some insight I have to go and Google on. But maybe for now, I don't think I have any more with me proving that Earth is sphere. Yeah. But anything else want to teach or share? I'm willing to learn. Like from your side, you want to add on something?
Well, you can go to a large body of water and measure it for yourself. That's the thing. You don't have to go halfway to the moon to know if it's a globe. You just go to a large body of water, and then when you do the math, the size of the Earth they give us, and you do the reverse engineering. Okay, so where should the horizon be? 1.225 times the square root of the observer. And then you can see that we can see too far. And then you'll find out why the anti-flat earthers always come up with excuses as to why we can see too far. And they say, oh, it's refraction. You can see around the curve, and you would see the other side of the hill. So do you believe that you can see the other side of the hill because of refraction? Because that's what they're claiming. That's what it all boils down to, the whole debate.
Okay, so I get the idea of that now. Well, then I'll put this in my book of what I call research, whether Earth is flat or Earth is sphere. But I can't
Well,
prove
if you
it.
go to Google, you're going to find out, like the mainstream search engines, YouTube and Google, they all prioritize globe Earth stuff. So if you type in flat Earth, you get like 100 videos showing that, the Earth is a globe, and here's the reasons why, right? But you might get one video that's flat Earth. That's because the government told the social media companies, like, what are you doing about this whole flat Earth thing? Because at one time it was the number one searched thing. And then they changed the way that Google presents its analytics, and they changed the algorithm. So that's why when you search flat Earth, what do you see coming up on the TV is going to be, anti-flat Earth stuff. So if you want to know the truth about flat Earth, you got to go to the home server, 24/7 Flat Earth Discord, because at least you get to hear our side of the argument without, straw mans and other tactics. Because if you go to Google, you're going to think that we believe the Earth is a disk flying through space, which is totally retarded, and they're straw manning us on purpose. It's like if I pissed in the punch bowl, would you want to have punch?
Nope.
Right. So another thing they do is they mix the models. So they'll say that, how would the sun work on an Earth if the Earth was, flat and the sun was as big as it is in the heliocentric model? It's like, well, it wouldn't do that. So that's how you know they're tricking you. Because we're not saying that, but they're saying that we're saying that. So that's why you got to ask a real flat earther what they believe rather than, oh, you guys believe this dumb stuff?
Yeah. If you got a question about flat Earth, ask a flat earther. Don't ask Google. They'll just straw man the hell out of everything.
Right, it's called putting words in your mouth, right? Like if you make an argument, why would someone want to put words in your mouth? They just address the argument.
Yeah, I've seen on YouTube as well. Usually, like when the people who claim Earth is flat, they try to post a video or something, then the comment section just gonna say you're dumb and stuff.
If people make
Unless
a
you,
silly argument based off it, like they'll just take one thing and take it way out of context instead of, interpreting it in a charitable way. And nobody wants that done when they're speaking. They want to be understood.
because you need to give the other party the equal right to give explanation.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind, we've already changed our minds before, so we've presented that we're capable of changing our minds. But most globe earther type people demonstrate time and time again that they are incapable of changing theirs.
Okay.
So it's a sign of an intelligent person to be able to entertain two ideas without believing in either one of them. And it's also a sign of an intelligent person to be able to, not only look at both sides of the coin, but to give it like a fair shake. And don't talk about things that you don't know about. It's also a sign of an intelligent person to be able to be open-minded and learn about new ideas, even if they don't necessarily believe in them. And your ability to be teachable is also a sign. So just, don't be a dumbass. You know what I mean? Oops, sorry about the swearing. It's just a joke.
I know.
I'm not saying.
Yeah. I mean, even right now, though I've like learned that Earth is sphere throughout. I am actually intrigued by your thought. It is flat. So I'm trying to process that how, but I can't because I'm not the science person. I'm actually more of an accountant. By the way, if I may ask, like your theories and all, so is it like you have that much knowledge due to your work environment, or is like your side hobby to learn about these scientific theories and
Both.
hypotheses? Yeah, both.
Yeah.
We promote autodidactic thinking, which means self-taught. You don't have to have anybody teach you in order to do that. On your own accord, you can go out and research things. Being autodidactic is literally the antithesis to cultism, because in a cult, one is taught not to think, just trust the authority and obey. But the one who is autodidactic thinks for himself and cannot be told, don't think.
So think about it like this. Like everybody is a tribalist of some sort, right? Like either you agree that the Earth is a globe and we went to the moon type thing, or you're a fan of the Dallas Cowboys or the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? That's organized tribal warfare, right? These sports with the soccer and the football, right? Or you might be really dumb and be a racist or something, right? You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
I'm
Oh, bro,
yeah, I
I'm
know.
not you, brother.
to be clear, I'm not trying to be insulting when I use that word. When I use the word cult, I mean like certain lines of thought are cultivated over time, over a great amount of time, like 100 years or more, and they're maintained. So it's not some little compartmentalized weird unga bunga stuff where people in robes are chanting crap. It has to do with a cultivated mentality.
I know what you're trying to say. Like instead of the words, I look at the context. So jargons doesn't cause me any issue.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to learn. Uh, okay. Well, now I'm interested in finding out whether Earth is flat or Earth is a sphere, and I would also see what I can do. But can you give me some form of tips as how you guys are like so like what do you call that, immensely like smart and into all these scientific the thesis and all, like what is useless to me I ignore, but you guys, you already know the depths of the thesis, even though it's useless and it's just for the sake to explain that person that whoa, this thesis won't work, this part has loopholes. Like what kind of research do you guys do?
Logic,
That is
logic, bro. So, do you know about logical fallacies?
Yeah, I've heard about
yeah,
strawman
interesting.
fallacy. I've heard about like many more fallacies. Like, yeah.
So that's one
Well,
thing, right? To be able to tell if you're being tricked, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the logical
I mean,
fallacies help out a
instead of
lot. If
like
you were to
finding a
watch like
fallacy,
a YouTube video on
instead of defending the facts, so you are attacking the person personally. Like you would say, like you are not good enough. Like you're not a good scientist. That's what they're gonna say. And I've heard about it before.
okay. And I want to start off with my research, right? Like usually I pick one person who is a specialist in this and learn
Mhm.
under them, but I would want to breach that idea of learning from others. I want to do self research that you guys promote. So
I
how you
mean,
guys do it? Like
it's some sort of like fallacy, like which you just used. Instead of like, people might have some sort of idea, and that might be a fact, and you might not disagree on that, and you cannot just say that you need specialists, so you're wrong in some sort of way, you know.
Hey Max, all you gotta do is go outside and look at the world. The world is observably, measurably, and practically utilized as flat for all intents and purposes, and for across all distances. That's all you gotta do. You don't need to read up a book. You don't need to learn from other people. All you need to do is just use your own two eyes and go outside and do your own long distance observations.
Or what the? You must be joking, right?
thinking for yourself, yeah, it's a huge joke. You should totally just do what the government tells you. Think what you're
Or
told
like,
to think, and don't think outside that box, or else you
bro,
get the hose again.
does he says that Earth is flat? Who is saying that?
Well, your eyes and your inner ear, right, is telling you that you're not spinning, and you live
It
in a
doesn't mean everything we see
topographical plane.
times, the truth is far beyond what we can see, right? We cannot trust our senses
So
sometimes,
if God forbid someone was shooting at you, like hunting you, trying to take you out, would you use your senses to avoid the bullets, or would you say, is somebody really shooting at me? Because theoretically, I hear the bullets whistling by my ear, but they're probably not actually trying to hit me, right?
I don't really think even you would even have the time to think of it because it's really very fast. It's like faster than the speed of sound, so you can barely, even if you try, you might fail. The bullet's gonna sue you. So
Well, I'm just
yeah,
trying to ground you in reality. You're saying, we can't always trust our senses, but if I make a claim, right, about anything, say I claim that I'm 6'3", shouldn't I
Mhm.
be able to prove that claim and back it up with any kind of evidence?
Yep. I mean, if you're making that, what you say, if you're making that statement, so it's kind of your responsibility to prove it. Like if you says that something exists, so it must be your responsibility to prove it, right?
Right,
That's how it works.
right. The burden of proof is on he who claims, not he who
Yeah,
denies.
yeah.
That's one of the basic logic things too. We constantly see a lot of people making claims, but nobody
Mhm.
really wants to back those claims up. it
True.
seems.
Like we see people claiming that God exists, but they don't have any solid empirical evidence for showing that there's God. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of in a category error, but I don't really blame you, because the concept is still there, right? You should be able to back up your claim if you're claiming God exists, and you wouldn't use scientific evidence to,
Obviously.
back up your
Yeah.
claim that God exists. It would be more of a philosophical endeavor.
And
Um,
theological. Right.
yeah, that too, especially theological, right?
Yeah, when it
But you would
comes to
want to
God.
maintain good philosophy while you made your arguments, right?
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true, man. I do agree with that.
But yeah,
well,
you can go outside
Larry,
and check for yourself. Go ahead, dude. Go ahead.
I actually went out, like before I did went outside, and now I'm actually considering your claims, but I'm intrigued with this factor. Like when someone comes with so and so theories saying Earth is not flat, it's PR, right? So you reply them in the same theoretical and explanatory manner that no, this is that so and so. I just want to know, like, that much knowledge you guys have, and how you do research around it. Like for me, you say go research about the galaxies, right? I don't know where to start, where to end. So I need advice
Start
in
with the
regards
ground.
to my research.
You start with the
You know what I
ground.
mean? Start
Yeah,
with the ground.
I keep trying to ground you in reality, right? If the Earth is flat, then you would want to find that out directly. You wouldn't look at the moon, the sun, the stars. You would look at the Earth directly.
So if someone like throws theories at me, so I was just supposed to tell to him, you go outside and you are able to see that valley over there. This proves that it's flat. So that is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Because
go
I
outside and
might.
check for yourself directly, right?
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Because you've only seen the globe on TV or a magazine or some type of media, right? Book, VHS, DVD, right? Internet. You never actually experienced the Earth as a globe. It's just what you were told. Like if you were born in Saudi Arabia, you'd probably be Wahhabi, right? Sunni. But if you were born in Iran, you'd be Shia, right? So this is called the anchor bias, right? So the
Hmm.
biases are something else you should really look into other than the logical fallacies. Because then there's like confirmation bias, which means that you see something, you think it backs up your claim, so you automatically trust it because it's your worldview, just like your religion, right?
And then comes the anchoring bias as well.
Yeah, the anchoring bias, exactly. Sunk
There's a
cost
lot.
bias.
Hmm.
So basically, what you should do is be open-minded like a child. It's not necessarily a bad thing to be curious. I think most scientists never lose their curiosity.
Mm. That's right.
Hmm.
The
That's
more
right.
curious
Yeah.
you are, the more new things you would get to know, the more you can invent new things with that. You can discover ideas and like get a lot of new stuff. Like most of the answers, you can get it through evolutionary science. If you like dig deeper into evolution and like evolutionary science, you can get explanation for most of the behaviors, the things which we do, every sort of stuff. You can find our answers, like a few answers, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
But overall, like, I just want to just learn that in your own field, you are like the way you answer questions with backup theories and all, right? So it sounds like a genuine, well-researched person answers it. But when I do it, it's like I just study every and anything, right? So when I do it, I end up remembering the concept, but I'm forgetting the key data. So I just want to learn from you guys is how do you guys do a particular research and you know how to approach. Like I can use some fancy terms and explain a particular mathematical theory saying Earth is not flat, it's a sphere, right? But you on the other hand already know that particular theory and you can say, oh no, this theory has loopholes. This is a pure assumption. So that deep info, how do you guys have? Because I'm like asking
Lots
for
and
tips.
lots of reading, like tons and tons of reading. You can't just get it from watching some YouTube video.
And when you do those readings, is there a structure? Like, okay, I'll just gonna start from the basic, what do you call that, earth plates, and then I gonna go with the then I gonna go and study about the core of the earth. Or no, there's no structure.
Well,
You just get the book, you read.
you take everything with a grain of salt. Just because it's in a book, don't mean it's true.
Yeah, but like when you read or research, so like our friend Mr. Maria said, lots and lots of reading now. So when you do reading, is there a structure or no? You just carry on reading and hope something valuable you'll find. Which option do you use? First or the second?
You don't go into it randomly. There's a specific subject matter that you're searching for, right? So you study the things that are related to that. When it comes
And
to
I
Earth
mean,
itself, it also requires observations, like getting out there and going and checking it for yourself.
and study it for learning purpose. Like just don't study it so that you can prove somebody wrong. Like, do it for that.
That too. You shouldn't be trying to get a gotcha moment. It should be about you benefiting yourself, like edify yourself with it, or help edify other people, uplift them with it. One thing
Like
that I
learning.
do, it's non sequitur to the ground, but I always like to study where words come from, like getting into the etymology of it and find out the roots of all these words. To me,
Yeah.
I'm just interested in it. It's fascinating to me. But it ends up helping with this too. It
I
helps me
mean,
have a more charitable interpretation of what other people are saying.
that also makes sense. I mean, if you will learn, you will get more questions. Like the more you learn, the more you ask questions, the more you will get answers of your questions. So it's a like self-learning process. Like self
Yep.
introspection process. Like I don't know,
Autodidactism.
I don't know the term, but what is it?
The belief that self-taught.
Autodidactic. It's just a fancy way of saying self-taught.
All right.
So I think I get it all now. Yeah.
So you're from New
You
Delhi.
just got to be curious and hungry. The truth
I
is
am
the
actually.
highest goal, right? It should be. The truth should be the highest goal.
Yeah, and I'm not from New Delhi actually. I'm from Fiji.
Easy. Bro, you
Nice.
sound like Indian.
He's island dude.
Yeah,
Bro, you
yeah.
sounds like an Indian.
Well, one thing is like one thing I do actually admire in this room is like how you guys have this skeptical good approach towards learning, why towards actually proving a particular thing. But this won't just assist in why Earth is flat, but many other scopes of life. Like we don't just listen to one's verbal explanation as to why so and so is like that. Like it helps a lot when voting for a particular political party. When they just say verbally, "We'll do this for the country," you question them and you ask them what theories and how you're gonna do it. So this skeptical approach is just amazing. You guys are holding and teaching me.
It's perfectly acceptable to ask somebody to prove their claims.
Yeah.
Anybody knows about anarchism? Like where they believe there should be no any political parties and nobody should be the the ruler, the controller.
There should be no class. Everybody should be only concerned about their own business and governing themselves to the point of perfection where you never need to be governed from the outside.
Yeah, exactly.
A man should be judged by the content of his character as well, not just by where he came from or any of that nonsense. What is he actually doing?
Yeah,
Damn, we got.
that also makes a lot of sense.
We have a lot of people here who believe in the flat Earth theory, right? I can see the name. This YouTube guy.
Bro, I would say that it is not a belief, it's an observation. So the natural observation is a horizontal horizon. And some man makes a claim about curvature, I'm inclined to ask them to provide me proof. Where's
Yeah, I
this
might
curvature at? You got some measurements?
use the wrong word, I believe. Like what you said, it's observe. Like what?
Yeah. And even
Okay.
then, when somebody says something like ships disappearing over the horizon or something, they don't understand the Rayleigh criterion or the limits of the oculus. Like any type of camera or even your eye is
Mhm.
restricted by the Rayleigh criterion. So you can only see so far.
I get that, man. I get that. Yeah.
So another thing to think about is, and I don't have posting perms. If anybody could give me permission, think about gravity. Like they've pretty much made it out by the time we leave government school that gravity is like settled, but really it's a theory. And if something is just a theory, then it's not settled, right? Because with a theory, you're trying to back it up with science, but gravity isn't really backed up with science. But I want you to think about this. Like, instead of mathematically describing something, isn't science supposed to be about cause and effect and experiment and hypothesis testing? And then making it empirical, repeatable, and most importantly, falsifiable in accordance with the great philosopher of science, Karl Popper. So think about this. Everything that goes up or down on Earth, ignoring things like aerodynamics, right, and helicopters, right, and airplanes, like in nature, where we're talking about natural science. Everything that goes up or down is based on the medium that it's in relative to the object's density. So the density of the medium and the density of the object, that's what makes things go up and down. Not mass attracting mass, it's actually mass and volume. So if you have a cup of water with ice in it, you manipulate the relative density between the object and the medium that it's in, which in this case, the medium is water. You drink the water, the ice goes down. You pour water back into the cup, the ice goes up. Because it's seeking equilibrium. When it's not in rest, it's seeking equilibrium. When it's at rest, then it's going to be like a density tower. So that's how gravity actually works. And if you want to know, relative density is also known as specific gravity. So you can't manipulate and bend and warp space-time to show that space-time is the cause of anything, right? It's just a mathematical description. But you can manipulate the relative density to something. So if you think you can prove gravity better than I, all you have to do is manipulate whatever you think is causing gravity without manipulating density or relative density.
Okay. Yeah. Now I know what you're trying to say. And there's another very decent example. One scientist said time is relative, another says that time is absolute. So two different
That's
people
true.
with two different, yeah. So two different people with two different theories, and us dumbheads don't know whom to listen to, because we call them the geniuses, unless we try to find ourselves. Yeah, that's a good insight I got.
A lot of people are told that there's some guy, some kind of guru or wizard at the top of the mountain, and all they have to do is just trust that dude who's up at the top of that pyramid of academia, when in reality you can go out and learn things for yourself, especially in this day and age where this wealth of information is readily available at our fingertips. You no longer have to appeal to the authority of some guru or some priest or professor.
By the way,
Not to mention this, like there could be one professor that says something that completely contradicts what another professor says. So it is good to at least take it with a grain of salt and hear both of them out.
yeah, I get it. We don't have to be like that YouTube people who just say that the earth is, those who claim it to be flat are like idiots and be harsh. Just at least have patience to listen, and then you'll get some reasoning. Yeah.
The way the mainstream would have it is for you to just automatically assume that we claim some kind of stupid pizza planet space frisbee, laugh about it, and never ask us a question.
Mm. But at the end, when you do, you get good reasoning, and that just opens the doors of curiosity for you. It all fits in, yeah. But I
I
don't understand
appreciate
this
the
one thing.
conversation, and you've been very polite about this, and we often receive quite the opposite whenever speaking to people about this. So thank you.
Actually, you're the ones who are polite. Like when we question people like me who question, the only thing we get is harsh responses or a shoe to the head. If someone, yeah, actually did get a shoe on my head. I asked something in terms of religion verbally with one of my teachers, and that's what I got the reply. So at the end, I just want to learn, even if it's if it's from one who's mentally disabled or so. The more you learn, the better, na? Why
Well, the
be the
thing is, you
frog in
can
a
learn from people you disagree with, right? Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
yeah. In fact, now I think that's one of the best method, because once you see in which key points I disagree with, you know which route to take to prove or to find out the truth. Yeah. But one thing I'm actually thoughtful of. Suppose the government wants people to think Earth is pear-shaped, right? Manipulating the media. What would they get out of it? Does anyone know?
It's a
That's a good
religious structure. It's a very ancient religious structure, for one. So it's historical, it's traditional, it's going to be maintained.
And through this religious structure, the government maintains control. So this is how everything is interlined together.
Both hearts and minds.
Okay. Hmm. Well, it was a good, insightful journey with you guys here. I'm just gonna apologize. I have to take my leave. It's 11:18, but I will come again tomorrow. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
this
come
time
back to
I'll
see
stay.
us.
Yeah,
Look, on
I'm
my
gonna stay.
profile is a link to our home server. It's this discord.gg/flat earth. Feel free to join in there. There's a wealth of information there. You can use the search and go through. I'm sure if you have a question, somebody's probably already asked it at some point in the past 10 years. So you might be able to find your answer there.
There's a wealth of information. And the thing about Flat Earth is we don't just study philosophy. It's philosophy, science, math, all these different things. And you're going to not have the compartmentalization you do like you do in college, right? Like in college, there's compartmentalization, but they also make you study things that you don't need. Where with us, you get to study a little bit of everything and be more well-rounded and mature.
Yeah, that's one thing. That's true. In fact,
Yeah, come back to see us, bro. Peace.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah,
Stay blessed,
one
man.
thing before you go.
Thanks.
We want you to know
Yeah.
what flat Earth is, so you can give us good, sound arguments against it. Generally, people come in here, they don't know what flat Earth is, but they want to argue against it, and that's kind of where it gets a little weird, because they start straw manning or ad homing. So I mean,
Yes,
yeah,
yes. I get it. Yeah, like when you said Earth is flat, I thought it's like it's a pizza. So then one of you gave me the images, so that's why I learned what form of biasness am I doing. But I learned that mistake. I'm apologetic on that. Okay.
all right,
Yeah.
well,
Good.
take care, man. Yep.
Yeah. Well, thanks for your info, guys. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, we'll see you around.